I think it's a great kind of segue into Sylvia and your background, just coming from Accenture and having that, kind of consulting role and seeing a multiplicity of verticals and really how, the application of an integration of these realities, avatars, holograms, will impact our everyday lives.
Sure, and I have to say, first of all, I'm learning a lot today. This is fascinating to listen to you, Sarah, and Dafu, and seeing those projections about the future of our identity is really something I'm closely looking at and listening to you. I'm learning so much. Thank you so much for having me today, and thank you, Lisa, also for organizing that venue for all of us today. And yeah, that's a great question, Chadema. So I'm both a futurist and a strategist. I've been working on metaverse at Accenture and Meta this past 2-3 years. And maybe one question I've had a lot this past month, and I thought maybe I should also bring it here to the table because it's kind of the haunting or the daunting question. Is the metaverse dead? And I wanted to start with that to also pose some basis on what we are talking about, because it really seems like the metaverse as this unifying 3D platform where we would live our lives as avatars, as inspired by Snow Crash or also Second Life or Meta's Horizon World. It has been mostly a collective fantasy for a while, but it hasn't completely crystallized yet, or at least it hasn't really scaled, if I may say so. So is it a problem of momentum, consumer readiness, market fit? Yes, probably. And a few initiatives and a lot of investment from players such as Meta and Microsoft didn't make it happen yet, I would say. The cut of their metaverse entities and related investment is a strong signal that the project has been postponed. And my interpretation is that there was no real economy or no economy strong enough to make it a tangible reality. There are a lot of consumer experimentations, fun, exciting, a lot of aesthetics as well, but most of them didn't lead to concrete and measurable value creation. Now, does it mean that we don't have use cases? No, we actually saw a range of use cases emerge. And I really don't want to downplay them because there's been so much going on from a multiplicity of players, startups, big players, and so on. But I would say most of those use cases have been on the industrial side of the metaverse. And they were not enough to build that whole economy like AI is currently doing, and as you were just mentioning. Now, let's consider the future because that's also where we are all here today. So the timeline is a bit blurry, but for me, there's still some hope in the creation of the metaverse in the sense of a continuum, as we've been describing it at Accenture, a continuum of use cases throughout your life, throughout your day, of different realities, AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, throughout your day, throughout your life, throughout your different identities, private, professional, social, and as you were mentioning, with our digital selves being uploaded at some point, maybe also beyond the end of life. And I believe in this picture of a future that one day we will navigate smoothly from one place to the other, from the physical to the augmented to the virtual. What form would it take? Well, we capture some signals of it as we look at industry use case once again. And you mentioned avatars, like we witness fascinating use cases in the health industry, for example, in education, in factory operations, in specialized training via the use of VR and digital twins. So there's a company, for example, I really liked it to name one, which is called Avatar Medical. And mainly what they do is generate a real-time 3D patient representation, like a digital twin of yourself, based on medical images in an interactive VR context. And so what happened then, surgeons are able to practice before surgery, and it can also be a support for conversation between a physician and a patient. Now push that in the future. Imagine you as a patient could be living with a digital copy of yourself at home that you could consult daily, see how you're doing, like all the sensors, what do they capture in terms of signals, how do you monitor your health and make adjustments. So that's really fascinating to see those use cases. And maybe one last aspect on this also, in terms of the future of the metaverse and extended reality. We mentioned generative AI, and we do strongly believe that Gen AI opens possibilities to populate the metaverse with AR and VR assets, environments, non-playable character and agents much faster and of much better quality than we used to have in those immersive worlds before. We also see the evolution of interfaces. We won't remain stuck with big, bulky headsets forever. I already see that as a transitional step, but we are going to see much lighter headsets and other types of devices. And what interests me the most, and I would love also to hear your feedback on that, but how places are going to evolve, like the walls, the ceilings, appliances in our homes, at work, our cars. We saw like fantastic cars at the last CES show in Las Vegas with the BMW iVision D car, who was able to interact with the driver and was able, like, had a warm voice, so a personality, almost a soul, and a reality slider when you could move from the AR layers to the physical layer to the VR world. So I think there are a lot of promises happening. It's just not there yet, no momentum yet, but I'm sure that's going to be exciting in the future. Stay tuned.